Is welcome back. In this session, we will be discussing about Kubernetes APIs. So, as I initially mentioned you that Kubernetes is a API based product where each and every resource in the form of API, they are predefined set of APIs which is already available in Kubernetes setup. So, in the control plane setup which we have installed in the previous lab, you can run the command kubectl. As I mentioned, kubectl is the command line utility for Kubernetes. You can run kubectl API hyphen resources and you will see list of API which is already available in your Kubernetes setup. In that, it has name of the API, short name of the API, API version, namespace, and kind. So they are defined it here. Okay. So you can see API version is v1 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 and then it is admission registration followed by v1 apps v1. So different API groups are there. Each of the API resource which is defined in Kubernetes is the part of some API group. Okay. So is it as I mentioned that Kubernetes API Kubernetes control plane has the API server, and that API server contains the definition of that. And we need to stick with the API version and the kind. So, whenever I want to go and create any type of resource in Kubernetes, I will be mentioning what kind of resource I want to create it and what is its version. That is what exactly we will be writing it out. So, and there is another thing is coming here is namespace. Somewhere you see namespace true, somewhere you see namespace false. So namespace concept we will be discussing in the upcoming session, but uh, most of the resources are namespace resources. So we will be creating by default inside the namespace. So you run this command kubectl. This is the command line utility and API hyphen resources. This will list out all the APIs. You can see the version and the kind there. We will discuss in the next session what is namespace, and after that we will see how to write the YAML file. So in this summary session, you can go and check it out. What are the native APIs which Kubernetes is providing it? So initially, when I mentioned the control plane has the API server, it means this definition is already with the control plane. Whenever you will submit the request, that will go in the specific version, kind, all these things will be mentioning while you are submitting your request, which will be validated by the API server. Okay. So thanks for attending this session. In next session, we will discuss what is namespace and then we will see how to explore your current running cluster. Thank you guys.